This is the story of three broke gremlins with some half-baked magic, convinced they're the Powerpuff Girls. But in reality, they look like budget OnlyFans rejects, hyping each other up and flashing creeps for pennies. And now somehow they gotta protect a town full of low-life weirdos, every last one of them looking like the grand marshals of the world's most chaotic pride parade. The story starts with a schoolgirl, Yutina, chilling while watching three magical girls throwing hands with a massive monster. She smiles at them, thinking how these magical girls always come through protecting people from some shady evil squad. Their flashy transformations and crazy powers got her hooked. Deep down, she dreams about rocking that kind of power too. Out of nowhere, something moves behind her. A weird-looking cat thing pops up, making her jump. Calls itself Vinalita and starts talking like she's special or something. Before she can even process that, it hands her a glowing star and boom, her whole body starts shifting. Her outfit changes in a flash, and the second she looks down, embarrassment hits like a truck. Way too revealing, not even close to what she imagined a magical girl would wear. Then the real slap in the face comes. She ain't a magical girl. She got picked to be a villain for the evil squad. She stands there frozen, refusing to believe any of it. No way she's going down that road. She bolts. Next day at school, she's watering plants, trying to forget all that nonsense. But of course, Vinalita shows up again. Calls her its partner, says this guy stick around. She already shut this down, so why is it still lurking? Then it starts going on about needing to know everything about her friends, her family, her whole life. She calls it out for being a straight-up stalker, threatens to get the cops involved. Vinalita just laughs, like the law doesn't apply to wherever the hell it is. That's when frustration kicks in, and she just sits there, tears building up. Vinalita goes off about how she's just a regular girl. Average grades, average at sports, but a hardcore magical girl fan. Spends every dime she gets on magical girl merch. That alone makes her a prime candidate for villain duty. She stares completely lost. What does any of that even mean? Vinalita keeps pushing, saying everybody has something special, some hidden power waiting to be unlocked. But instead of hyping her up, it throws in another bomb. If the evil squad disappears, magical girls disappear too. Her mind blanks out. That's some twisted logic. Then it drops another wild take. Magical girls and villains sometimes form tight bonds while fighting. That's when it all clicks. It wants her to throw hands with the magical girls. Her stomach drops. She doesn't want to do it, but with no way out, she's stuck. Vinalita forces her to transform again, hyping her up like she's got the best fit in the game. She isn't feeling it. But then Vinalita pulls out its ace. If she refuses, it's uploading her transformation video for the whole internet to see. Says it might even rack up 200,000 followers. Cold sweat hits. She ain't about to let that happen, so she caves. Right on cue, the three magical girls roll up, saying they caught dark energy in the air and came to shut it down. Panic hits hard. She tries explaining, says Vinalita made her do this. Haruka looks hesitant, but Kaoruka and Seo aren't buying a single word. They think it's all a setup. She realizes fast, nobody's believing her. She turns to Vinalita, completely lost. It tells her to use her weapon. She pulls out a magical wand, staring at it like it's some foreign object. No clue what to do with it. Vinalita gives her a simple command. Hit a flower. Her hands shake, but she does it. The flower twists, mutates, and turns into a full-blown monster. The magical girls freeze, eyes wide in shock. Utena's mind's a mess. 1 minute she's just a schoolgirl watering flowers, vibing with her love for magical girls. Next thing she knows, she's out here turning plants into monsters and watching the same girls she once admired struggle for their lives. And worst part, she ain't hating it. Vinalita got her by the throat. That creepy little thing don't care what she wants. Keeps tossing out threats, pulling out the damn phone, reminding her that one wrong move and her whole life's on blast. So she plays along, acts like she's got no choice. But the way her heart races when she sees them trapped, the way her fingers twitch to push things further, she knows something's real messed up inside her. Next day, she tries to shake it off. Back to school, back to watering flowers, acting like nothing happened. But then Haruka pulls up, all casual, throwing a smile her way. Utena freezes. No way this girl's talking to her, right? But she does. Knows her name. Says she's been watching her. Thinks the flowers must be grateful. Utena nearly laughs. If only she knew. Then Haruka winces, grips her side real quick before brushing it off and walking away. Utena's stomach twists. She did that. Meanwhile, Seo's in class, getting smacked playfully by a friend, but she flinches hard. Haruka and Kaoruka notice. They all know something's up. They don't know who that villain girl was, but next time, they ain't letting her off easy. Bell rings. Magical girls sense dark energy. They bolt to the rooftop, transform, ready to throw hands. Utena, sitting in class, gets a text. Probably her fam, right? Wrong. Vinalita again. Says the magical girls are moving. Tells her to get her ass over there. She hesitates, but that video ain't going anywhere. She shows up late. Too late. Monster's already handled. Vinalita's waiting inside a building all smug. No big deal, it says. They'll just fight again. Utena don't wanna. doesn't even try to hide it. But then that damn phone's out again. This time, it's her parents on the line. Vinalita's got footage locked and loaded, ready to send. Utena's chest tightens. Vinalita points at a statue, tells her to wreck it. She does. The air shifts, dark energy spikes. Statues all over start cracking, moving. Magical girls whip around just in time to see them come to life. Too late. Statues grab them, lock them in place. Utena strolls up like she ain't the reason this is happening. Magical girls glare, demanding answers. Statues squeeze tighter. Then something weird. They start tickling. Light brushes at first and full-on torture. Seiya is thrashing, Karuka's gasping between laughs. Haruka's face is red as hell, trying to hold it in. Utena watches. Feels it again. That rush, that spark. They look so cute, all helpless like that. Feels too good. Too right. She steps closer. Hands join in. Feels them squirm. Hears their muffled pleas. One of them begs her to stop. She doesn't. Then Seiya breaks free. Vinalita don't even think. Snaps open a portal, drags Utena through before they get bodied. Back home, Utena stares at the ceiling. Knows she messed up again. Feels it crawling in her chest. But then Vinalita's voice cuts through, smug as ever. Says she enjoyed it. Utena spits back a denial. But deep down, she knows she's lying. Utena is sleeping in class, dreaming about magical girls again. She thinks she has to deal with them once more. Then the teacher calls her name. She wakes up. The teacher tells her to stop sleeping and focus. She nods, but in her head, she keeps wondering why these dreams won't stop. After class, Haruka says the day feels quiet. She suggests going out. Seiya says she has things to do at home and leaves. Utena heads home alone. Seiya calls out from behind, saying Utena looks down. She says if something's wrong, she's ready to listen. Utena says nothing is wrong. Seiya says that's good, but reminds her she can always talk if something comes up. Then she leaves. Utena watches her go, thinking Seiya is a kind person. Seiya walks home and ends up helping someone. Meanwhile, Utena keeps struggling with her thoughts about magical girls. She stops by a shrine, praying for help, asking for Vinalita to stay away. When she leaves, she spots a dirty book on the ground. The wind flips it open, and inside is her own picture. She looks around and sees more books scattered. Then it hits her. Everything she's been doing to magical girls has been something else entirely. Seiya is at the temple cleaning when she senses a strong presence. She turns and sees Utena transforming. The energy shifts and Seiya transforms too. She says Utena shouldn't be on holy ground, says this ends today. She moves in and attacks. Utena dodges, saying it's a mistake. She swears not to do it again. Seiya doesn't stop. Utena dodges again, then runs. Seiya follows, refusing to let her go. Utena knows she has to act fast. She spots a fox mask stall and grabs one, throwing it straight at Seiya's face. The mask sticks. Seiya struggles to pull it off but can't. Utena takes the chance to escape. But then she stops. Seiya can't see her, can't sense her. Utena makes a sound behind her. Seiya swings at the noise, but there's nothing there. Utena appears somewhere else, making her move. Seiya keeps striking, but hits nothing. Utena knocks the sword from her hands. Seiya tries to run, but stumbles and falls. Utena walks up, saying there's no escaping now. She touches Seiya's cheek, then her hands, then her body. When she's done, she steps back. Seiya stays on the ground, shaken. Utena says that's enough for today. Next time, they'll do this again. Then she leaves. Seiya's transformation fades. The other magical girls arrive, asking what happened. Kaoruka thinks Utena must have known they were coming and took off. But Seiya isn't thinking about that. She's still stuck on Utena. Later that night, Utena lies in bed. Vinalita says she handled things well. Utena tells him to stop talking. The next morning, she checks her phone. Vinalita brings up something new. She needs a villain name. Every villain has one. Utena says any name will do. Vinalita offers a suggestion, but Utena refuses. She says she'll choose her own. She asks how long they'll keep this up. Vinalita says until they defeat the magical girls. She asks what happens after that. He tells her they'll be taking over in a way. He explains where he comes from, a world of mascot creatures. Says those creatures are being wiped out by magical girls. Says the magical girls don't even realize they're being used. Utena listens but doesn't fully believe it. Magical girls wouldn't do something like that. Vinalita insists they've been tricked. Says the real villains made magical girls think mascots are the enemy. Utena asks why he created an evil organization. Vinalita says if being evil means saving his own kind, then he'll do it. Utena didn't know any of this. But in reality, Vinalita isn't telling the truth. The magical girls are posted up in a restaurant talking strategy. Next time, they ain't just fighting Utena, they're taking her down for good. Seiya sits there, quiet, replaying Utena's words in her head. Next time, they'll have more fun. She wonders what that even means. What's Utena planning? Haruka catches her zoning out and asks if she's good. Seo brushes it off, says she's fine. When they're done, they all dip. Meanwhile, Vanillita hits Utena up, says the magical girls are back and it's time to move. She's in. She transforms, tracks down Haruka. At first, she figures maybe she can just talk. But nah, why waste time? She jumps straight into action. Vanillita tosses her something to amp things up, a tool to twist a creature into a real problem. The monster snatches Haruka and Utena, perched on top, holds a candle near her. She plays it smooth, gives Haruka a chance to fold. Haruka not having it. So Utena summons another beast, a flower monster, ready to strike. Before anything lands, everything gets wiped out. Monster's gone. Haruka's voice comes from behind. She figured out how Utena does her tricks. Asked if Utena really thought the same move would work again. Utena turns and Haruka looks different now. She's not holding back anymore. She says she didn't want to use this kind of power on another girl, but here they are. She swings, Utena blocks, but Haruka isn't phased. Calls out to Raji like she ain't even fighting Utena alone. Utena launches an attack. Haruka shrugs it off like it's nothing. Then she counters. Next thing, Utena knows her body ain't her own anymore. She's clay. She falls apart, crumbling to the ground. But before Haruka can claim the win, the clay shifts. It ain't just one Utena now. A whole army of clay dolls, all looking exactly like her, pop up. Haruka sighs, already knowing Utena's got too many ways to slip out. She asks for a name before Utena runs. Utena pauses. Then she grins. Bezer. That's who she is now. And she's Haruka's worst nightmare. With that, she vanishes. Later, in the streets, a black hole tears open. Utena and Vanillita step out. Vanillita admits he didn't see that girl being so strong, says they need a new game plan. Utena doesn't respond. He asks what's up. Then she starts laughing. Up on a rooftop, a shadow moves. Someone's watching. After Utena's mom leaves, Vanillita tells Utena it's time to go. He creates a black hole, and they go through it. On the other side, they arrive at their group's base. Vanillita gives Utena a tour, telling her this is the Nacht organization's base. Since Utena is now a member, he wants her to see everything. Utena asks where the other members are, and Vanillita says the old members are out on missions. Utena looks around and asks if she can go home now. A girl named Kiwi shows up and tells her to look around properly since she's already here. Utena is surprised and asks how the girl knows her name. Kiwi moves closer, shakes Utena's hand, and says her name is Kiwi. She says Vanillita told her everything about Utena. Utena looks at her hand and realizes Kiwi just gave her a bomb. It explodes, but Utena dodges it and transforms. She asks Kiwi why she did that. Kiwi says she wanted to see if Utena could survive. She saw Utena fighting Haruka yesterday and noticed Utena was smiling afterward. If Kiwi had lost like that, she wouldn't have accepted it. She would have gone back for a rematch. Kiwi transforms and tells Utena not to worry, she just wants to beat some sense into her. Utena thinks Kiwi looks cute, but then Kiwi summons a bunch of guns and shoots at her. Utena dodges fast and tries to block with a door, but the door breaks and she gets hurt. Kiwi walks up to Utena and asks why she fights magical girls. Kiwi says she hates them because they get all the attention. That's why she wants to get rid of them. She asks Utena why she fights, then pulls out a bomb and puts it on Utena's head. Utena suddenly starts laughing. She grabs her wand, picks up a bulb, and throws it at Kiwi. The bulb flies up and traps Kiwi inside. Kiwi tries to blast her way out. Utena tells her to stop or she'll get hurt. She says she won't fight her or magical girls. She thinks they're all cute and fun to mess with. She walks up to Kiwi and tells her why she was smiling after fighting Haruka. She loves teasing magical girls because they make funny faces, and that makes them look even cuter. Kiwi calls her crazy. Suddenly, an electric shock hits Kiwi. Utena asks if Kiwi is enjoying it, then shocks her again, turning up the power. Kiwi finally breaks free and falls to the ground. Utena tells Kiwi she looks like the cutest girl in the world right now. Vanillita watches them and thinks he made the right choice bringing Utena here. He tells Utena they should go. Utena says she'll be back and tells Kiwi to wait for her. Utena and Vanillita step into the black hole and disappear. The next day, Utena walks to school thinking about yesterday. It was a rough day, but she strangely feels good about it. Behind her, Haruka calls out and says hi. As they talk, Kiwi suddenly runs up and hugs Utena tightly. Utena is shocked. Kiwi says Utena promised they'd meet again, so she came. Utena notices Kiwi is wearing her school uniform and asks why. Kiwi says she transferred to Utena's school and wants to be her best friend. Utena is speechless. Later, Kiwi hugs Utena again, calling her her first friend and saying they should go on a date. Embarrassed, Utena gets dragged to a restaurant. While Kiwi eats happily, she notices Utena isn't eating. Utena admits she feels shy eating in front of others, which Kiwi realizes is why she eats alone at school. Smiling, Kiwi picks up food and feeds Utena herself. After eating, they go shopping, watch a movie, and visit another store. Kiwi asks what Utena bought, and she shows a magical girl figure. Remembering Kiwi hates magical girls, Utena quickly apologizes. Sitting on a bench, Kiwi asks why Utena's personality changes when she transforms. She never seems scared in that state. Utena says she doesn't know, but admits her actions are wrong. She never wanted to join Enor meetup, but was forced to. Curious, she asks Kiwi how she joined. In a flashback, Kiwi takes selfies and posts them online, asking for likes. She sees posts about magical girls and wonders who they are and why they're on her feed. She realizes she hates them. Vinalita senses Kiwi and approaches her. He asks if she dislikes magical girls. Kiwi says she does. Vinalita asks if she wants to defeat them. Kiwi says yes. Before Vinalita can even explain his group, Kiwi immediately says she wants to join. Back in the present, Utena asks if that was Kiwi's only reason for joining. Kiwi says yes. Utena asks what Kiwi thinks about world domination. Kiwi says she doesn't care about that. She used to want the whole world to recognize her as the cutest girl, but now she just wants to hear it from Utena. Kiwi pulls out a transformation star from her bag and suddenly both of them transform. Utena is shocked that Kiwi transformed her, but Kiwi doesn't know how it happened. She suggests taking a selfie in her costume. Utena refuses, saying they shouldn't transform in public. A group of people nearby sees them and panics. They say Enormida is here and that they need magical girls. Suddenly, magical girls appear behind Utena and Kiwi. They demand to know what they are doing. Utena complains that she warned Kiwi not to transform in public. Kiwi tells Utena that magical girls will destroy them now. Kiwi then tells the magical girls to save their introductions for TV and says she and Utena haven't done anything yet. Kaoruka tells Utena and Kiwi they can run away if they want, it will be more fun for them that way. Kiwi gets angry and flies into the air. Haruka and Karuka chase after her. Utena and Seo stay behind. Kiwi shoots at Haruka and Karuka with her guns, but Karuka easily blocks them with a magical barrier. She says Kiwi's attacks won't hurt them. Kiwi refuses to accept that and keeps firing. Karuka blocks everything again. Meanwhile, Utena watches Seo, who wonders what Utena is planning. Seo knows Utena can create monsters with her magical band. She wonders what Utena will do to her. She tries to ignore the thought, but stays on guard. Utena suddenly taps some flowers nearby with her band. The flowers grab Seo. Utena looks confused because Seo isn't fighting back. Utena tells Seo to stay out of it. Then, she stops and thinks. Seo wonders what Utena is about to do. Raji moves back, raises her hand, and starts slapping Seo. Utena enjoys it, but then she notices something happening in Kiwi's fight. A huge explosion happens and Utena sees Kiwi exhausted. Karuka notices Kiwi is tired and says it's their turn now. Utena sees Kiwi in trouble. Haruka attacks, but Seo jumps in to stop her. A blast creates smoke and Haruka finds a magical girl figure, realizing they escaped. Karuka says they should help Seo first. Meanwhile, Kiwi and Utena hide. Kiwi complains that the magical girls countered all her attacks and thanks Utena for saving her, apologizing for using her figures. Utena says it's fine, she's just glad Kiwi is safe. Kiwi, feeling happy, suddenly asks for a kiss. Utena freaks out, so Kiwi just hugs her. As they walk, Kiwi suggests resting at a hotel. Utena realizes it's a love hotel and refuses, but Kiwi drags her inside. The next day, Utena is at school and Kiwi comes over and asks if she wants to go out to eat. Utena refuses, saying her test scores were low. Her mom warned her that if she fails the retest, she'll throw away her magical girl collection, so she has to study. After school, Utena sees Haruka standing in the park, holding a sign that says magical fighters should come and challenge her. Utena is shocked and tries to leave, but before she can go, Vinolita shows up. She immediately knows she's in trouble. Vinolita tells her to fight the magical girl, but Utena refuses, saying she has to study. She thinks fighting too much is ruining her grades. Vinolita reminds her that instead of studying, she secretly reads other books. If her mom finds out, she'll be mad. Utena sighs and agrees to fight. She transforms and Haruka notices her. Haruka tells everyone to clear the area. Utena wants to end this quickly. Utena attacks first and her strike tears Haruka's clothes. Haruka freezes, embarrassed. Utena points out that everyone is watching and Haruka can't fight like this. She then opens a black hole and escapes. That night, Utena tries to study, but she keeps thinking about Haruka. Vinolita shows up again, telling her there's another magical girl causing trouble. Utena refuses. She has to study, or her mom will throw away her collection. Vinolita reminds her she isn't studying anyway and warns her again about the books. Frustrated, Utena agrees to go. At the park, Utena and Haruka face off again. Utena confidently says she knows what Haruka will do next. She attacks and once again, Haruka's clothes rip. But this time, Haruka is wearing something different underneath. Utena's nose starts bleeding. Stunned, she says Haruka has no shame. Haruka insists she's fine, but her face turns red. Utena realizes Haruka is getting embarrassed. Haruka attacks and Utena blocks. Utena wonders if Haruka is only fighting so hard because of the cheering crowd. The fight is getting intense. Her nose bleeds again. Haruka charges and Utena meets her with her wand. Their weapons clash, creating a powerful blast. When the dust settles, Haruka is unconscious. Haruka and Sayo arrive, shocked by Haruka's outfit. Haruka, still embarrassed, tries to explain. Sayo asks what happened during the fight, but Haruka tells her to drop it. Once they transform back to normal, Haruka asks why Haruka fought without telling them. Haruka says she wanted to see if Utena was really their enemy. Haruka insists they have to fight her no matter what. Haruka agrees but still feels like Utena isn't evil. The next day at school, Utena is stressed. Her retest is today, and she didn't study. Kiwi notices and asks what's wrong. Utena admits she's doomed. Kiwi laughs and says the test was easy, showing off her perfect score. Utena collapses and begs Kiwi help her study, even offering to buy her sushi. Meanwhile, Haruka leaves a convenience store, wondering why Utena and Kiwi always run away in the middle of fights. Back in class, she sits with Haruka and Sayo. Utena passes by, eating alone as usual. Karaoke asks how Haruka knows that. Haruka says Utena always eats by the stairs and then suddenly invites her to sit with them. Before Utena can answer, Kiwi storms in, accusing them of trying to steal Utena away. Haruka says they won't force her and even offers to help if Kiwi ever gets annoying, which irritates Kiwi. Tension rises, but Utena pulls Kiwi away. Haruka shrugs it off when her friends ask about it. As they start eating, Haruka gets a message and Sayo remembers they have a photo shoot. Later, the magical girls arrive at the photo shoot. When it's over, Haruka isn't happy. Vats appears and she scolds him for not telling them about it earlier. Vats apologizes, saying media attention can help them defeat their enemies. Sayo worries about dragging the media into their battles, but Vats reassures her that he set up a magic barrier for protection. Then he asks for their help bringing Vinalita back to their side. Haruka agrees as long as she gets paid. Haruka and Sayo agree too. When they step outside, they see Utena and Kiwi waiting for them. Vinalita and Vats glare at each other, questioning each other's loyalties. Kiwi threatens Haruka, who mocks her for always running away. Furious, Kiwi pulls out her gun while Utena attacks with her wand. Haruka blocks with a barrier, but Utena's attack breaks through. Kiwi cheers, thinking they won, but Haruka smirks. She had another shield up the whole time. Kiwi yells for round 2 and Utena unleashes a barrage of attacks. Haruka's shield weakens and Utena fires a massive blast, causing a huge explosion. Thinking they've won, Utena and Kiwi celebrate, until Haruka reappears and knocks them down. The fight drags on for hours. By evening, all the magical girls are lying on the ground in their school uniforms, completely exhausted. Morino sits in a dark street, drawing when she hears a noise. She sees a cat, but it runs away. Walking deeper, she finds Vinalita on a wall. At school, Utena and Kiwi get a message from Vinalita, calling them to their base. When they arrive, they see Morino holding Vinalita. He introduces her as their new teammate. Utena pulls him aside, accusing him of kidnapping, but Vinalita insists she joined willingly. A flashback shows Morino grabbing Vinalita while he talks about his plans. Back in the present, Utena questions their low standards, but Vinalita dismisses it. Suddenly, Morino grabs Vinalita's arm, surprising Utena, who thinks she likes him. Utena meets Morino and is surprised she's joining the fight. Vinalita transforms Morino and Utena calls her cute, quickly adding that Kiwi is cute too, making Kiwi blush. Meanwhile, the magical girls sense danger. A stuffed doll appears and runs, leading Haruka, Sayo, and Haruka into a room. The door shuts behind them, and the doll grows huge, attacking them. The magical girls try to escape but find more dolls blocking their way. Sayo attacks, but has no effect. They run and hide in a room. Sayo wonders why their attacks aren't working. She turns to talk but sees Haruka's clothes have changed and her hair is different. Sayo asks what's going on. Haruka starts acting strange. Haruka also acts like a little child and calls Sayo mommy. Sayo gets confused. Haruka says she's hungry. Sayo wonders what's happening. She starts doubting herself, thinking maybe she really is their mother. Suddenly, the room changes into a hot spring. Outside, Utena watches and realizes Morino's power is to manipulate people's minds. Vinalita confirms she can control people like dolls, but only for a short time. The magical girls come outside, confused about what just happened. Morino collapses from exhaustion. Utena carries her, and Vinalita suggests she take Morino home. Utena agrees and thinks Morino is cute, but also the most dangerous among them. A flashback shows Morino's birthday. Her mother celebrates with her and gives her a doll. Morino happily hugs it. In the present, Kiwi plays in the park, bored, and challenges Utena to a jumping contest. Utena refuses, but Kiwi jumps anyway. They spot Morino heading home from school, and Kiwi convinces her to invite them over. At Morino's house, they notice her mother is out, and her room is filled with toys, both new and worn out. Kiwi accidentally breaks a doll's arm, but Morino calmly fixes it. Kiwi finds a different broken doll, and Utena offers to help repair it, saying her mother taught her. Morino agrees. Later that night, Utena and Kiwi say goodbye and leave. At home, Utena takes out the doll and fixes it. She realizes this morning and she forgot to sleep, but the doll is completely repaired. She sneezes, realizing she caught a cold. She visits Morino to return the doll, but coughs and leaves only to trip. Morino suddenly transforms and Utena wakes up in a changed room with a doctor. The doctor checks her, applies cream, and gives her a shot. Utena wakes up back in Morino's room, completely healed. Kiwi hears about Utena's cold and complains she wasn't told. She gets the idea to use Morino's power to turn Utena into her baby, but Morino tricks her, trapping her in a cage. Utena and Morino laugh as Kiwi screams. Later at night, Morino's mother returns and apologizes for being late again. She says Morino's grandmother is visiting soon and will bring a doll as a gift. Morino says she doesn't need any more dolls. Her mother notices she looks happier lately and asks if she made new friends. Morino nods. Morino is sitting alone on a park bench. Haruka is playing with Kid and notices her. She asks the kids why Morino is always alone. The kids say they do not know, but she always sits there by herself. Haruka walks up to Morino and places a toy keychain in front of her, inviting her to play. Morino nods while holding her doll. Haruka smiles and says Morino has very good manners. Meanwhile, magical girls Sayo and Karuka are in trouble. A spider-like attack traps them on the ground. Utena laughs and says she wants to play with them more. Kiwi stands beside her and agrees. Haruka rushes in to help, but she also gets caught in the spider web and sticks to the ground. She screams in frustration. Later, the magical girls wash their clothes. Karuka gets angry and swears revenge. Sayo tells her to be more careful in battle. Karuka snaps back, saying Sayo didn't do a great job either. Haruka steps between them and says they shouldn't fight with each other. She believes they can do better next time. Karuka teases Haruka, saying she's acting like their mother. Haruka laughs and accepts the role. The next day at school, Haruka opens her lunch. The others stare at it. It's full of mushrooms. She explains that they need protein to fight enemies. Then she teaches them some battle formations, but everyone gets confused. Instead of training, normally she makes them dance. Haruka doesn't understand why. Haruka explains that they need energy for battle, but suddenly, Haruka's back stiffens up. Kiwi laughs at her, which makes Haruka angry. Haruka stops their argument and hands water bottles to Utena and Kiwi. Kiwi thanks her. Sayo watches Haruka and realizes that she's really acting like their team's mother now. Later, Haruka returns to the park and finds Morino on the bench again. She asks her what she wants to play today. Morino holds out her doll. Haruka isn't surprised and takes out her toy keychain. Haruka plays with Morino and enjoys the moment. She offers her toy keychain to Morino and tells her they will play again sometime. Then she leaves from there to do groceries. On the way, Haruka stops by a store. The shopkeeper asks her what she wants. She sees a variety of mushrooms and starts looking at them. Suddenly, she realizes she drank too much water and needs to find a bathroom. But then she senses an enemy and runs toward the park where she was playing with Morino. Morino shows up and activates her powers. She tricks Haruka minds and shows her a dollhouse. Haruka says she needs to be sure she doesn't end up inside. She needs to call Karuka and Sayo. Then, a huge doll appears, holds Haruka, and takes her inside the dollhouse. Inside the dollhouse, Haruka turns into a baby. Morino turns out to be her mother and holds her. Meanwhile, Karuka walks into a restaurant and is eating food. She thinks how Haruka is playing the role of mother too seriously. In a flashback, Kaoru remembers how she first met Haruka. They accidentally bumped into each other at school. Kaoru told Haruka not to worry about it and walked away. Later, Haruka asked Sayo about her. Sayo introduced them properly. Kaoru used to study alone after school. Every time, Haruka would appear and talk to her. One day, Haruka asked if they could walk home together. Kaoru asked why Haruka wanted to talk to her so much. Haruka simply said she wanted to be her friend. Back to the present, Kaoru thinks Haruka is just as annoying as she's always been. Meanwhile, Haruka is playing with Morino. She says she's having fun, but then she realizes her diaper is wet. She starts crying and apologizes, saying she's just a baby. Haruka notices that Morino doesn't seem embarrassed, so she decides that if she's a baby too, then she can do anything without worrying. Then she remembers Karuka and Seo, but isn't sure who they are. She knows they're her close friends, but she doesn't remember her own role. In a flashback, Seo and Haruka sense an enemy's presence and rush to investigate. They find Karuka beating up an enemy. Haruka gets surprised and asks why Karuka didn't run. Karuka says she didn't want to feel like a coward. Then she notices their costumes and asks if they're doing some kind of cosplay. Haruka tells her they are magical girls. In the present, Haruka realizes she isn't really a baby. She turns back into her normal self, while Morino returns to being a small child. Haruka feels embarrassed and quickly gets up. She asks where Morino put her underwear and demands it back. But then she notices Morino looking sad. Haruka realizes that Morino actually enjoyed playing with her. Morino creates a black hole and prepares to leave, but Haruka calls out to her and acts like a baby again. Morino stops, becomes happy, and pulls out a milk bottle to feed Haruka. Haruka plays along, thinking that she doesn't want Morino to go home feeling lonely. Later, Haruka walks home and sees kids pretending to be magical girls like Haruka, reminding her of when Haruka and Seo tried to recruit her. She refused, seeing no point, but Haruka believes she'd join eventually. Meanwhile, Morino keeps bottle-feeding Haruka, making her uncomfortable. When Haruka asks for a bathroom break, Morino ignores her and touches her stomach. Haruka tries to resist but loses control, embarrassing herself. The strange doll world disappears and they return to reality. Haruka gets confused about what just happened. Morino looks tired. She creates another black hole and starts leaving. Haruka asks what she really wants. Morino only smiles before disappearing. Karuka and Seo arrive. They apologize for being late and notice Haruka's condition. Seo says Haruka's fight must have been intense. Haruka looks down and realizes something embarrassing. Her underwear is missing. She has no idea what to do now. After changing, Haruka tells them about the fight. She says she actually enjoyed it. Karuka calls her weird. Haruka laughs and says she's thinking about tomorrow's lunch. She takes out a flyer showing octopus dishes. Karuka refuses to eat octopus. Haruka says she shouldn't be so picky. Seo disagrees, saying there's more to it. Kaoru asks if Haruka is really trying to beat her mother. Haruka happily says maybe she is. She even suggests they should start calling her mother. Karuka says she's ridiculous. None of them are babies. Finalita tells Utena and others that they will go to their base and meet some people. He creates a black hole and tells Utena to transform before they go. Utena says she has a bad feeling about this. Meanwhile, we see Seo, who is feeling defeated. She asks Haruka and Karuka for help. She admits that she hasn't been able to fight properly alongside Utena in the past battles. Karuka and the others agree with her. Seo then reveals that she fought Utena before and lost badly. She doubts if she can improve and asks for their help. At the same time, Utena and the others transform and arrive at the enemy's base. But when they arrive, it's completely dark and they see no one. Suddenly, a voice comes from above, telling them that they have been called to meet their superior. Kyugi asks who they are, and one of the girls responds that Vanillita should explain to them. Vanillita steps forward, apologizes, and introduces them. After the introductions, Vanillita says they just returned from another city after destroying a magical girl. Then Tanaka speaks up. She says that Vanillita showed them footage of Utena and the others fighting, and from what she saw, they are incredibly weak. Kyugi gets angry at this, but Tamaka silences her. Tamaka tells Utena she's seen her fight. She defeats enemies but never fully destroys them. She questions if Utena thinks this is just a game, leaving her ashamed. Tamaka then warns Vanillita to keep his people in line, reminding him their goal is world domination. While Vanillita insists they need more power, Tamaka argues they already have enough. He warns against overconfidence, creating tension. Frustrated, Tamaka declares they'll take action themselves. Suspecting betrayal, Vanillita confronts her, but she brushes him off. Kyubi is shocked they're already turning on each other. Before leaving, Tamaka offers Utena and the others a chance to join them, but Utena refuses. The others do not understand why she's even with the enemy, and she finally admits she was forced to join Enormida. Hearing this, Tamaka orders Gigant to destroy them. Gigant attacks from above, causing the ground to crack. The group quickly realizes that she is extremely powerful. They suggest that Morino should try to trap her into her dollhouse. Morino uses her dollhouse to imprison Gigant, but then Utena and Kiwi attack her. However, their attacks do not work as Gigant grows even bigger and breaks free. She then captures Utena and Kiwi, crushing them in her grip. Utena tells Kiwi to use her bomb, but Kiwi hesitates because Utena is also caught in the blast range. Utena insists and Kiwi finally uses the bomb. The explosion frees them. Meanwhile, a black hole appears and Utena, Kiwi, and Morino escape. Utena is badly injured, but Kiwi is unharmed because Utena shielded her. Kiwi is deeply worried about Utena. Suddenly, Utena starts laughing loudly and strange star-like marks appear on her face. She says she will take their stars stars as well. Kimbi calls Utena crazy after seeing this. On the other side, a girl named Okoye speaks to Tamaka. She questions if they should really let their enemies escape and suggests finishing them off. Tamaka replies that she doesn't tolerate failure. Okoye confidently states that she can handle the job. Tamaka gives her permission to destroy them and show them the power of Lord Squad. Utena is hospitalized, worrying everyone, but she reassures them and asks for some time alone. Kiwi and Marino leave, planning to bring her a gift. Meanwhile, Raju confronts Vinalita, suspecting he knew they'd be betrayed. She points out how he made them transform early to hide their identities. Vinalita admits it with a smirk, even joking that she thinks like a villain. Suddenly, Utena snaps, furious about his talk of destroying magical girls. She insists they're too important and demands answers. Seo continues training with Karuka, who pushes her to keep going. Meanwhile, Kiwi worries about Utena, but remembers they need to buy her a gift. Morino suggests a doll, but Kiwi doubts Utena would like it. Suddenly, Okoye appears, ready to fight. Kiwi, furious over Utena's injury, ignores Morino's warning and attacks. Okoye taunts her lack of stars and starts singing. Kiwi bluntly says she didn't like it, making Okoye cry. Enraged, Okoye unleashes powerful sound attacks. Kiwi counters with gunfire, while Morino notices Okoye losing control. When dolls approach, Okoye screams, making them vanish. The flash bombs explode and Okoye can't see. When her vision comes back, Kiwi and Morino are gone. She panics because she knows Tamaka will punish her for failing. Kiwi and Morino are hiding in a tree. Kiwi smiles and says she's not silly enough to fight Okoye directly. She says sorry for breaking Morino's doll, but Morino says she can fix it. At the base, Tamaka is angry at Okoye. She tells her to stop crying and then whips her hard. Okoye screams in pain. Meanwhile, Vinalita watches everything quietly. Haruka and Karuka are practicing together. Suddenly, Vats calls out to them, asking them to look at something. They turn their heads and see Kiwi and Okoye fighting. Haruka thinks they should go and destroy them, but Karuka stops her. She says it's better to leave them alone for now because they will destroy each other. Also, they are not strong enough yet. She believes they should train more before taking action. Seo is also practicing, but she seems to be doing something else along with meditation. Karuka notices and asks her about it. Seo comes out of her meditation and Karuka reminds her that she shouldn't think about earthly desires while meditating. Seo insists she wasn't thinking of anything like that. Karuka then suggests that Seo should choose a weapon. Haruka has a spear and Karuka himself fights with fists. Seo had a short sword that she used to create things, but Karuka thinks she needs a stronger weapon. Seo begins thinking about this suggestion seriously. Meanwhile, Okoye is resting while Nemo applies cream to her back. Okoye talks excitedly about how she will become an idol in the future. Nemo, unimpressed, wishes they had a cream that could increase Okoye's intelligence. Okoye gets annoyed and says she won't give Nemo an autograph when she becomes famous. Nemo doubts that anyone would even want Okoye's autograph. Okoye insists she's an amazing idol and gets up to leave, declaring that they should also get going. At Utena's house, she is recovered. Kiwi is happy to see this and gives Morino a gift. However, Morino looks sad. Utena notices and apologizes, saying she should have fought alongside them against Okoye. Kiwi tells her not to worry about it. Suddenly, Utena says they should destroy their enemies. Kiwi gets surprised by her words. Just then, Vinalita arrives. He says that if they are planning to destroy them, he is tracking their location. He senses that they are nearby. He creates a black hole preparing to leave. Utena and others decide to follow. Okoye is performing a concert and Utena and the others arrive at the scene. They are shocked to see how many fans Okoye has. Then Kiwi throws a bomb there. The crowd gets scared and runs away. Okoye gets angry on Utena and others for ruining her concert. Meanwhile, Nemo tells Okoye that it was a part of their plan. Okoye begins attacking Utena with her music. Kiwi shoots with her guns. Then Nemo comes close to Utena and grabs her. Kiwi attacks Nemo and saves Utena again. Nemo uses her power and takes control of Kiwi and makes her attack Utena. Utena realizes Nemo is a shadow controller. She understands how Nemo snuck Kiwi's shadow and takes control of her. Okoye then attacks both Utena and Kiwi. When they finally get up, Nemo then orders Okoye to attack again. Okoye follows the command and uses her music to destroy a tree. Nemo then takes advantage of the tree's shadow to launch an attack. However, the Utena and Kiwi manage to dodge just in time. Nemo is impressed and admits they are better than expected. Meanwhile, Kiwi and Morino start planning a counterattack. Morino confidently claims to have a great idea. Okoye continues her attack and destroys the tree completely. Kiwi steps out, but Nemo quickly catches her. Seeing this, Utena signals Morino to act. Morino immediately throws several dolls toward Kiwi. Nemo mocks them, pointing out that it looks like Kiwi's own allies are attacking her. But then, a bright flash of light appears. Nemo suddenly finds herself trapped in a pitch-black space. She looks around in confusion and realizes she is inside a dark room. As she inspects her surroundings, she understands that she has been locked inside Morino's dollhouse. Okoye prepares to attack again, but Utena warns her to stay still. If Okoye moves, Utena threatens to destroy the dollhouse. Utena silently apologizes to Morino for risking her precious dollhouse, but believes there is no other way to win. She promises to fix it later. Utena then turns to Okoye and makes a shocking demand. Okoye is completely caught off guard and immediately thinks that Utena is just as crazy as Tamaka. However, Okoye listens and follows the instruction, feeling uneasy about the situation. Utena smiles and mentions that Okoye wants to be an idol. She wonders how Okoye's fans would feel seeing her like this, but Okoye confidently states that it doesn't matter. She challenges them to do whatever they want. Utena changes the topic and asks Okoye to sing a song. Okoye gets surprised and feels uncomfortable performing in this situation. Utena mocks her and suggests that Okoye cannot sing in front of people without controlling them. Okoye snaps back, denying the accusation, but Utena calmly explains the truth. She reveals that all the fans at Okoye's concert are under Nemo's control. Okoye gets stunned and turns to Nemo for answers. For the first time, she begins to question everything. If Nemo was controlling the audience all along, she wonders if she ever had real fans. A flashback reveals Okoye singing for some friends. However, they didn't enjoy her performance. Later at home, she asks herself why people dislike her singing. She believes it is fun and doesn't understand their reactions. She once asked her mother for an opinion, but her mother hesitated. Even though Okoye excitedly announced her dream of becoming an idol, her mother's expression made her doubt herself. Back in the present, Okoye realizes that everyone has been making fun of her. Utena then tells her that if she doesn't want to sing, she doesn't have to. But Okoye suddenly feels determined. She refuses to back down and decides to sing. Kiwi and Marino become curious and listen carefully. Okoye performs, and when she finishes, Kiwi admits that her song is actually good. Even Utena enjoys the performance. Hearing this, Okoye feels true happiness for the first time. She smiles and acknowledges their victory. Meanwhile, the magical girls are relaxing in a hot spring. Haruka sighs in relief, saying that they really needed this break after intense training. Haruka agrees and reminds them that resting is also part of the process. They then notice Seo saying awkwardly. When they ask why, Seo glares at them in frustration. She accuses them of knowing exactly why she is uncomfortable. Haruka looks away awkwardly, avoiding the conversation. On the other side, Utena and the others finish battling. Nemo is upset and scolds Okoye for giving up so easily, but Okoye doesn't seem to care. She tells Nemo that if she wants to fight, she can do it alone. Okoye doesn't mind if Nemo reports everything to their leader Tamaka. However, Nemo is not interested in returning. She refuses to go back because she doesn't want to end up trapped like Okoye. The two of them start arguing. Kibi turns to Utena and asks what they should do with them now. Utena doesn't have an answer, but then Okoye suddenly makes a bold declaration. She announces that from now on, she and Nemo will stay on Utena's side. Everyone is shocked by her unexpected decision. Utena apologizes for calling Okoye and Nemo so suddenly. Okoye says it's fine and asks why. Utena admits she doesn't understand why they want to join her. Okoye explains she never liked the Lord, but since Utena listened to her song, she feels they can be part of her fan club. She also points out that Utena and Kiwi aren't strong enough to fight alone. Marino and Jigen are 3 stars, but Tamaka is a 4-star, making her much stronger. So Okoye says they'll help. Utena understands but asks another question. She heard that Okoye and Nemo hunted magical girls before. Okoye confirms it. Then Nemo starts arguing with her. Utena finds their discussion strange, but ultimately gives them their stars and tells them to transform. When Okoye and Nemo transform, they suddenly get trapped in a strange place. They can't see anything at first, but then a spotlight turns on, revealing a message. They cannot escape unless they entertain Utena. Utena appears on the screen, and they ask what she is doing. Nemo demands to know what she is making Marino do. Utena explains that Marino is playing with Kiwi, and that she modified the dollhouse last night, giving her full control over the lights. She also warns that their attacks won't work on her. Meanwhile, Kiwi is sitting with a figurine, but she is frustrated because it is broken. She says put them together and sell them. Finalina arrives and asks Kiwi how she feels about Okoye and Nemo. He points out that during their fight yesterday, Nemo controlled Kiwi's shadow, making her helpless. If things continue this way, she will become weaker. Kiwi is already angry and breaks her figurine out of frustration. Back in the dollhouse, Okoye asks Utena what she wants from them. Utena reassures them that she won't harm them, but explains that since they destroyed her magical girls, she needs to purify them. She then tells them to work together. Okoye refuses, saying she won't work with Nemo, and Nemo says the same about Okoye. They start arguing and Utena tells them to stop. Then, Okoye suddenly tells Nemo that she actually sings well. Nemo is surprised and Okoye admits she should thank Nemo. However, she also says that she no longer needs Nemo. Hearing this, Nemo feels hurt. She remembers growing up with Okoye and how she followed her when the enemy organization offered her a chance to become an idol. When she was given the same offer, she joined because she wanted to stay with Okoye, but now she is heartbroken. She asks Okoye if everything she did was meaningless. Okoye argues that she never asked Nemo to control her audience. Nemo gets even angrier, saying that if she hadn't done it, no one would have listened to Okoye's songs. Okoye realizes her mistake and apologizes. Utena teases that they should kiss to make up. Embarrassed, they protest, but Utena points out their constant arguing means they're more than just friends. Flustered, Nemo waits for Okoye to deny it, but instead, Okoye steps closer, insisting they can't leave unless they kiss. After a brief hesitation, she tells Nemo to close her eyes, then kisses her. Utena is pleased with the scene. After the kiss, Okoye tells Utena that it should be enough and asks her to let them go, but Utena refuses, saying this is only the beginning. She then asks them to prove how much they love each other. Nemo realizes they have no other choice. She pushes Okoye down and starts touching her body. Utena watches happily. Nemo thinks to herself that she has always felt this way about Okoye. In a flashback, we see Nemo waking up Okoye early in the morning to pick up their audition outfits. Okoye struggles to wake up but finally gets up, apologizing for falling asleep sleep too early. In the present, Nemo stands silently, thinking that she has always cared about Akoya. Meanwhile, Kiwi finishes fixing her figurine and goes to show it to Utena. But when she arrives, she finds Akoya and Nemo lying on the floor together. She is confused about what happened, while Utena is happily watching. Elsewhere, Tamaka and Gigant discuss how Akoya and Nemo have betrayed them. Gigant tells Tamaka not to worry because they still have enough power to conquer the world. She believes it is time to begin their invasion. Back outside, Utena, Kiwi, and Marina are having lunch when they hear a noise. They see that some monsters have captured people. Utena realizes this must be the Tamaka's doing and tells everyone to transform. At the same time, Sayo is still training. Haruka advises her that they shouldn't fight together, but Sayo insists she hasn't learned enough yet. She believes that the crack in her transformation crystal is healed, and that fighting the enemy might fully restore it. Suddenly, Karuka attacks her. Sayo is too deep in thought and gets hit. Meanwhile, Utena, Kiwi, and Marino fight the monsters. Akoya and Nemo arrive and say they are here to help. Utena thanks them. They realize the monsters were created by Tamaka's power. Kiwi notices that the monsters seem to have the same abilities as Utena. Akoya confirms it and explains that Tamaka already has a large army prepared. Kiwi is frustrated that Akoya didn't warn them earlier. Akoya argues that they would have if Utena hadn't trapped them in the room. Nemo reminds them that there is no time to argue because the monsters are attacking again. They start fighting, but then the monsters regenerate. Suddenly, Vinalia appears and explains that the monsters aren't actually regenerating, they were never fully destroyed. He reveals that these monsters were created by Tamaka's power, so they will only disappear when Tamaka's power runs out. The only way to stop them is by defeating Tamaka. Before they can react, the monsters merge and trap everyone. Jagan appears and tells them they stand no chance against Tamaka. She prepares to attack, saying she will give them a quick death. But before she can, Kimi attacks her with a powerful blast. Kimi tells Utena to handle Tamaka while she deals with Jigant. Vinalita creates a black hole and tells Utena they should leave. Before leaving, Utena tells Kiwi that when the battle is over, she wants to take her to a hotel. Kiwi agrees and they disappear into the black hole. Now Kiwi is ready to fight Jigant. She pulls out multiple guns and fires at her. The others watch, but the monsters attack them again. Nemo tells them to focus on handling the monsters first. Despite Kiwi's attacks, Jigant is unharmed. She grabs Kiwi and throws her far away. Jigant gets on top of Kiwi and smiles, but Kiwi quickly gets back up. Jigant tells her to give up, but Kiwi refuses. As Jigant prepares to finish her, Kiwi's clothes rip, revealing 3 stars on her body. A bright light bursts from her. When the light fades, Jigant sees that Kiwi is transformed into a new form. Kiwi smiles and declares that this is her final form. Meanwhile, Utena arrives in Tamaka's domain, ready for battle. Utena approaches Tamaka. Tamaka looks Utena and says she never expected her to come alone. But Utena stands her ground, ready to destroy her. Suddenly, Tamaka summons a massive monster. Meanwhile, Kiwi is already transformed and is in battle. She launches a powerful attack on Jigant. The attack creates a huge explosion, injuring Jigant. Jigant is surprised and wonders why Kiwi never used such power before. But Kiwi doesn't stop, she attacks again. This time, Jigant takes heavy damage. Kiwi is happy to see this, but then blood drips from her own mouth. Jigant figures out that Kiwi's power also hurts her. Kiwi tries to act tough, but Jigant smiles, realizing Kiwi is not as invincible as she seems. Back to Utena, she fights Tamaka's summoned monster. She uses her wand to strike at nearby lamps, and suddenly, those lamps turn into monsters as well. They trap Tamaka's monster, making Utena's job easier. Tamaka is impressed but not worried. She summons another monster and attacks again. This time, Tamaka uses her whip to grab Utena, trapping her. Utena struggles as the monster prepares to attack her. Meanwhile, Kiwi and Jigant continue their fight. Kiwi is exhausted and her attacks start missing. Jigant takes advantage and counterattacks, knocking Kiwi down. She tells Kiwi to surrender, but Kiwi refuses. She stands up again, determined to win. Jigant prepares a final attack, but suddenly, the ground beneath her shakes. The floor collapses and Jigant falls into a trap. Kiwi laughs, revealing that she was attacking around Jigant intentionally to weaken the ground. Now Jigant is stuck and has no way out. Kiwi walks over to her and asks what she will do now. Jigant realizes she is lost and surrenders, but Kiwi doesn't trust her and sets up multiple weapons around her. Jigant insists she is not faking, but Kiwi doesn't believe her. Kiwi tells Jigant to cry and truly apologize if she wants mercy. When Jigant hesitates, Kiwi starts counting down. Jigant panics and actually starts crying, begging for forgiveness. But Kiwi reveals she was bluffing. Her bullets were already gone. As soon as Jigant faints, she suddenly shrinks into a smaller version of herself. Kiwi finally detransforms and sighs, thinking about how she and Utena must visit the hotel next time. Meanwhile, on the other side, Marino has captured multiple monsters in her dollhouse. Akoya and Nemo praise her and ask her to hold them for a little longer. But then they notice Marino is asleep. Confused, they look around and suddenly see the monsters breaking free. The monsters attack, and as a result, Akoya, Nemo, and Marino lose their transformations, returning to their normal clothes. Before the monsters can attack again, magical girls arrive. The magical girls do not recognize Akoya, Nemo, and Marino since they look like civilians now. They tell them to leave for safety. As the 3 walk away, Akoya whispers how lucky they are that they are in civilian form. The magical girls face the powerful monsters. Sayo confidently says she will handle it. Akoya and Nemo, hiding nearby, do not believe Sayo can defeat the monsters. However, to their surprise, Sayo easily destroys them. Back to Utena's fight. fight, Tamaka tells her that she should stop fighting and join her instead. She believes that only the strong deserve to rule the world. She mocks the magical girls, calling them weak. Utena listens but starts feeling bored. She thinks Tamaka is talking too much and wonders why she is posing so dramatically. Instead of arguing, Utena releases her true power. Tamaka gets shocked, realizing Utena is far stronger than expected. Utena explains that true warriors fight for peace, not power. She reveals her true identity as a magical girl, unleashing a powerful attack. Tamaka panics and sends her monster to attack Utena, but Utena destroys it instantly. Tamaka is in disbelief. Vinalita watches from afar, shocked at Utena's strength. Tamaka, still unwilling to give up, summons more monsters. Utena easily controls the monsters and turns them against Tamaka. The creatures grab Tamaka and she struggles to escape. At that moment, Okoye and Nemo arrive. They came to help Utena, but are shocked to see she has already won. Utena greets them casually, saying she is busy dealing with Tamaka. Okoye and Nemo are amazed at how Utena has mentally dominated Tamaka. Tamaka, now looking weak and helpless, tries to call Okoye and Nemo for help. She promises to forgive them for betraying her, but they refuse, not wanting to get punished like she is. Kyubi watches and laughs, telling Tamaka that she is facing karma for messing with Utena. Tamaka gets more frustrated, but Utena decides to punish her further. She flips Tamaka over and starts spanking her. Tamaka screams in pain, shocked at this childish punishment. She begs Utena to stop. Utena continues until Tamaka finally breaks down, cries, and sincerely apologizes. Satisfied, Utena stops and lets Tamaka go. She then de-transforms, declaring their victory. Everyone cheers. Even though Kyubi is injured, she runs over to hug Utena. As Tamaka walks away, confused, Vinalita appears and reveals that her power was never truly hers. It was borrowed from 3 others through a device he planted. Furious at being used, she attacks him, but Jigen intervenes. Jigen demands to know why Vinalita hid Kiwi's true power, but Vinalita just smirks, saying it was all part of his plan. Utena and the others arrive, but she quickly notices Tamaka is missing. Confused, she asks where she went. Vinalita assures her he's already taken care of it and hands her a star as a hint. Everyone relaxes, thinking the fight is finally over. Just as Utena turns to leave, she suddenly stops. Vinalita asks what's wrong, but before she can answer, Kiwi reminds her about their hotel visit, making everyone laugh. Then Vinalita drops a bombshell. He officially promotes Utena as the new commander of Inormida's forces. She's completely shocked. As the magical girls rebuild the city, Karuka questions why they bother. Vats explains it's to help people. Haruka then realizes Utena and the others have been quiet. Utena, looking exhausted, admits she overused her brain thinking about Tamaka. She feels drained, regretting that she can't bring back the magical girl lost in battle. Kiwi also has doubts and questions whether she should lead an evil organization. Vinalita points out that Utena cannot join them today, so they should come up with their own plan. Meanwhile, Morino walks toward Utena, sits down, and immediately falls asleep. Kiwi wonders if they are really serious about defeating the magical girls. Suddenly, Utena starts thinking about Sayo. She wonders how Sayo is doing and if she accidentally broke her during their last fight. Okoye says they should be careful when encountering magical girls. Nemo reminds everyone that the magical girls were really powerful last time. Utena quickly reacts and asks when they last met them. Okoye explains that it happened before coming to find her. Hearing this, Utena gets excited. She is relieved to hear the magical girls are still alive. Kiwi then asks Okoye why they should be so cautious. Okoye reveals that she saw Sayo and warns that she is extremely powerful. She reminds them that Sayo destroyed Tamaka's monster with just one hit. Utena doesn't want spoilers and prefers to see it for herself. Okoye sighs, knowing that Utena won't listen to warnings. Numa also tells Okoye that there is no point in trying to change Utena's mind. At that moment, Vinalita mentions that the magical girls are currently fixing the city, the same one they destroyed. Utena decides to go meet them. Kiwi wants to go too, but Vinalita stops her and tells her to focus on healing first. He hands Utena her star, allowing her to leave. Utena arrives in the city and looks around. She feels guilty when she sees all the destruction. She then notices small monsters trying to repair the damage, so she decides to help them. Suddenly, Sayo appears behind her in her magical form. She sees Utena and wonders why she is here. Utena becomes excited to see Sayo, but suddenly gets a nosebleed. Sayo asks if she's okay. Utena wigs it off and jokes that her brain stopped working for a second. Sayo doesn't understand what she means. Utena then asks if she can shake Sayo's hand. Sayo agrees. As they shake hands, Utena enjoys the moment so much that she wishes she could preserve her skin to remember it. Utena watches as Sayo helps repair the city. She asks why she is doing it. Sayo explains that the battle against Inormida caused a lot of destruction, and she played a part in it. Next time she won't lose. Hearing this, Utena starts crying. She realizes that she was wrong. She thought she had broken Sayo, but magical girls are stronger than she expected. Sayo notices Utena's tears and asks if she's okay. Utena says she is fine. Deep down, she decides that if magical girls are this strong, then she will become the best villain ever. After some time, the city is fully restored. Sayo mentions that the monster golems helped a lot. Sayo adds that Utena also did a lot of work. When Sayo thanks her by name, Utena becomes extremely happy. She feels proud that Sayo said her name. Then, she offers to give Sayo a massage. Later, Sayo lies on a bench while Utena massages her shoulders. She thinks that Sayo is really soft. She stops for a moment and asks if she pressed too hard. Sayo reassures her her that it feels nice. Utena smiles and decides to continue. She then says she should massage Seo's lower body too. She massages Seo's legs, saying that she must be tired and needs to relax. Seo hesitates and asks her to stop, but Utena insists that she is just trying to help. She gets excited but suddenly stops, apologizes, and runs away. Seo is left wondering why Utena's touch feels so familiar. Later, everyone gathers for a meeting. Utena stands in front of them and apologizes for calling them suddenly. Everyone notices that she looks serious. Utena tells them that she met a magical girl and learned that they plan to destroy Enormida at any cost. She then shares her strategy. The plan is simple. They will go, mess with the magical girls for a bit, and then retreat. Kiwi thinks the plan sounds perfect. However, Akoya and Nemo do not understand what Utena is trying to do. They feel like she just wants to have fun. Later, Akoya and Nemo sit together at home. Akoya says she doesn't know what Utena expects from them. Nemo replies that they already chose Utena as their boss, so they have no choice. Akoya complains that she isn't taking things seriously. Nemo gets annoyed and suggests that they go shopping instead. Meanwhile, Utena, Marino, and Kiwi visit a store. Marino tells Utena to take any toys she likes. She then starts looking at dolls. Haruka appears and recognizes Utena and Marino. She mentions that it has been a long time since they last met. Utena asks Haruka how she knows Marino. Haruka explains that they played together at the park before. Utena then asks about the 3 kids with her. Haruka tells her that they are her sisters. Kimi picks out a toy for Marino, but Utena doesn't like it. However, Haruka's sisters seem to love it. Later, as they all sit together, Marino enjoys the toy. Haruka comments that today was a great day and wishes every day could be like this. Utena and Kiwi agree. As they prepare to leave, Utena and Kiwi notice that Marino bought a toy dragon. But the moment Marino touches it, the stuffed toy transforms into a real dragon. Haruka sees it and gets ready to fight. People around them start taking pictures instead of running away. Haruka warns them to leave, but no one listens. The dragon attacks and she blocks it before counterattacking the kick. Utena and Kiwi realize they need to help Marino. They distract Haruka, while Marino orders the dragon to attack. However, Haruka soon realizes that the dragon is just a stuffed toy. She doesn't understand what Enormida is trying to do. Then she hears her sisters cheering for her. Feeling encouraged, she pushes the dragon away. Seo and Karuka decide to assist Haruka. They try to stop Utena and Kiwi, but Haruka gets distracted. Marino uses the opportunity to knock Haruka down. However, Haruka refuses to give up. She becomes angry and punches Marino's stuffed doll. At the same time, Utena and Kiwi get sent flying into the air. Haruka returns to her normal civilian form and hugs her sisters. Haruka happily hugs them back. Meanwhile, Utena, Kiwi, and Marino sit together in defeat. They realize they lost badly. They blame the situation on Marino's ability to transform her stuffed toy. However, Marino is already fast asleep. Seeing this, they simply say that at least she had fun. Utena and her friends arrive at the beach for a fun day. They finally have some free time and are excited to relax. The magic girls are also here. Haruka notices Utena in the distance and calls her over. When Utena arrives, she introduces everyone one by one. Meanwhile, Karuka sees Kiwi and immediately feels annoyed, thinking that her presence will ruin the mood. Kiwi understands and confronts her, making it clear that she doesn't want to be here with Karuka either. Their argument quickly turns into a challenge. They decide to race in the water to prove who is better. As they swim, Seo watches and thinks that they are actually quite similar. Meanwhile, Marino is busy building a sandcastle when Haruka joins in, offering to help. On the other side, Akoya and Nemo are having fun in the water. Akoya reminds Nemo that she can't swim, but Nemo brushes it off. Suddenly, Karuka and Kiwi rush past them, causing them to lose their balance and fall into the water. Utena watches everyone having fun when Seo asks why she isn't swimming. Utena says she's putting on sunscreen, and Seo decides to do the same. Noticing Utena's magic girl-themed bag, Seo asks if she's a fan. Utena excitedly confirms, and Seo pretends to be a fan too. When asked about her favorite magic girl, Seo hesitates but plays along. Utena then explains why she loves magic girls so much. She admires how they never give up and always face their fears. Seo listens and comments that the magic girls would be happy to hear that. The conversation ends and they return to having fun in the water. Meanwhile, Karuka and Kiwi's race comes to an end, with Karuka winning. Kiwi looks around for Utena but doesn't see her. Haruka explains that Utena went to get water. Utena stands at a small beachside stall, deciding whether to get tea or juice. Before she can decide, 2 girls come up and order beer. The stall owner refuses to serve them because Utena was there first. The girls turn around and see her. At that moment, Kiwi arrives, looking annoyed. She tells them to wait their turn, making them back off. Utena gets surprised to see Kiwi stepping in. Before she can react, Haruka suddenly calls everyone over. She says that an Enormida is here. Hearing this, Akoya and Mimo and Marino immediately suspect that this is Kiwi's doing. Utena warns Kiwi that they need to leave quickly or things will get worse. But before they can escape, the magical girls arrive. Utena immediately calls for a smoke bomb. Haruka and the others assume that Utena and others is trying to run away, but instead they transform into their magical forms. Utena laughs and questions why the magical girls are taking a break at the beach. Haruka responds, asking why they are here too. Karuka doesn't care about the reason. She is determined to take her revenge today and attacks. Utena quickly tells others to spread out. Karuka remains confident, saying they will take down each opponent opponent one by one. But Utena summons a giant octopus with her wand. The octopus captures the magical girls with its tentacles. It even grabs Akoya and Nemo, making them wonder why Utena betrayed them. Utena starts to realize that the octopus might have its own consciousness, making it difficult to control. Morino also gets caught but quickly summons her doll, which helps her escape. Haruka tells Karuka to do something, but Karuka is disgusted by the octopus tentacles. Utena taunts her. Just as Karuka is about to get caught, Seo steps in and freezes the octopus with her ice magic, freeing everyone. Seo checks if they are okay. Everyone is sure that they are fine. With the octopus frozen, Seo prepares to fight Utena. However, Morino's doll suddenly grabs her and pulls her away. Utena asks if Seo is really planning to fight her alone. Seo confidently says she is different now. Utena notices that she indeed seems stronger. Seo transforms into a new form that no one has seen before. Utena is impressed and asked about it. Seo explains that she is using this form for the first time and is ready to show how powerful she has become. Utena remembers Akoya mentioning this form before. Now, everyone is curious to see how strong Seo really is. Utena attacks first, using dark energy. Seo easily blocks it and counters with an energy blast. Utena is caught off guard. Seo explains that she has finally accepted her power and is no longer afraid. Utena listens and gets excited. She attacks again, and the two clash fiercely. Utena wonders how Seo has become so strong. But before she can react, Seo grabs her wand and redirects her attack. Utena crashes to the ground but quickly regains her balance. She then uses her wand to transform an umbrella into a monster. The monster attacks, but Seo destroys it in one hit. Haruka is amazed at how powerful Seo has become. Utena realizes this fight is going to be much harder than she thought. Seo challenges her to keep going. Utena refuses to back down, saying this is just the beginning. Seo's power has grown because she has fully accepted herself. She remembers how Utena defeated her last time, but also how much she enjoyed the fight. Karuka, however, is not amused. She thinks both Seo and Utena have no shame and are just fighting for fun. Just then, Kiwi, Akoya, Morino, and Nemo arrive to support Utena. Together, they launch a powerful attack at Seo. Instead of dodging, Seo takes the attack head-on. She actually enjoys the challenge, but she knows it's time to return the energy she has taken. She unleashes a massive energy blast at them. Utena now realizes how strong Seo has become. She admits that they might be in trouble, but promises that next time she won't lose. As she retreats, Seo's transformation fades. She is exhausted. Haruka checks on her, saying she did an amazing job. Karuka, however, is not happy. She feels useless because they had to rely on Seo. She apologizes for not being more helpful. The sun sets, and it's time for everyone to leave the beach. As they prepare to go, Kiwi approaches Karuka. She offers her a firecracker to cheer her up, but Karuka is still angry and tells her to leave. As Kiwi walks away, she tells Karuka that if she ever needs anything, she can come to her. Karuka turns around and sees Kiwi's strange expression. This annoys her even more, and she angrily throws the firecracker at Kiwi. Utena and Seo light firecrackers, enjoying the moment. Utena admits she's happier than ever now that she has real friends. Seo agrees, but neither notices Venalina watching from the shadows, smiling anticipation. The next morning, the magical girls defeat a love monster and scold Enormida. Utena and the others stand ready. The battle isn't over yet.